How does someone gain access to creating a product that has to go through compliance, that has to go through regulatory hurdles, that has to go through R&D, formulation, and production?
Welcome to another episode of Mastering E-commerce Marketing. I'm your host, Eitan Koter, and really excited to host David Feuerstein today, founder and CBO at CREATOR. CREATOR is spelled as CREATOR. So CREATOR empowers D2C brands, influencers, celebrities, and established beauty businesses to launch and scale with on-demand turnkey manufacturing, a level of access that was once reserved for industry giants. David, hey, how are you? Welcome.
I'm good, Eitan. Thanks for having me.
Great, David. Super excited topic today. I think you are actually built something really innovative and breakthrough. But before we dive in, David, if you can choose 3 words that are most important to you and why?
I would say family, integrity, and purpose. Those would be the 3 words that are most important to me, and in that order. So nothing in this world is more important than my family to me. My wife, my 3 sons, and my extended family beyond my nuclear one. The reason is that they are always it's always in the gene pool that you find your best level of constant support that's unwavering and without strings attached, and it's a mutual bond that goes both ways. So without family, I wouldn't be where I am. I would say integrity is incredibly important, especially when you're when you're a person who builds opportunity off of relationships. I've always said that my greatest strength is in being able to maintain relationships, and not necessarily in always closing the deal, but making sure that even if the deal doesn't happen, that integrity is kept all along the way, because you never know when things can come around again, and you can someone that you've met 10 years ago can evolve into a potential relationship today. And I'll use our specific example, how our paths overlapped many years ago under completely different hats, until when we recently met and realized that now we have an opportunity potentially to come fair circle and do something together. And last, purpose. I think in anything that you do, if you have all of the other ingredients behind you, making sure that you're focused on doing something that has purpose, really gives meaning to the mission. And that means by understanding what your customer really wants and needs, and solving the pain points and solving the problems that they have. And I think in CREATOR, we've achieved that. And certainly in many of the opportunities that I've worked in my lives, things that have been successful have all had purpose.
Yeah, this is super interesting, and definitely totally resonate with me as well. I mean, and obviously you, right, in your career, you're mostly customer-facing type of guy, right? We're working on the business side, on the managerial aspect. Just building those relationships is much more important than just push hard to try close the deal, right? This is probably what differentiates you from others, and I can obviously attest this for all those years that I see you working. So I think it's going quite well for you. So well done. Now, David, I want to ask you about CREATOR. I mean, I know what you guys are doing, so it's still, I think, requires some explanation. You're obviously a tech company, but you're still obviously a beauty company. So I think you are probably converging those 2 worlds in a very innovative way that requires some more explanation. So let's please go for it.
Look, at the end of the day, ultimately what we do is we give everyone and anyone access to turnkey cosmetic manufacturing, which was something that was really reserved for larger brands in the past. I mean, we see what's been going on with the direct-to-consumer, with the creator economy. And it's one thing to be able to stock up a bunch of T-shirts in your warehouse and allow for someone to do a design and put a design on a T-shirt and sell almost as quickly as you can do drop shipping with regards to building an apparel line. But beauty has been a very strong segment in the creator space. Typically, it's a share a link segment. You have a bunch of platforms that are out there that allow people that have great influence or transactional ability with their followers to be able to take someone else's product and share a link and allow for sales that way. But really, what was missing was giving them the same opportunity that the bigger brands had, that they believe in themselves, are transactionable. But how does someone create a product that's not ironing a decal on a t-shirt? How does someone gain access to creating a product that has to go through compliance, that has to go through regulatory hurdles, that has to go through R&D, formulation, and production? And it's a very, very heavy lifting type of a process for what we would call the long tail or the creator economy. But we realized at Creator that, if there was a way that we could take a full turnkey operation, democratize access, and create a methodology that made it as simple as building a website on Wix, that you could actually create a product that would be reflective of who you are and that would also resonate with your audience, that if we could facilitate that in one environment, that we were onto something big. And it took a long time for us to do it. I can tell you it took a really brave, established top 20 factory to go on this crazy adventure with us. But the market demand is there, the market need is there, and we've had some wonderful traction and great proof points up until now. And we're excited to launch our platform and make it open to everyone.
Nice, David. But I want to be more probably focused. What are the pains or challenges for any entrepreneurs or an influencer or creators out there who want to launch their own beauty brand?
Look, if you see a lot of these solutions that are out there with people that are offering creators today to create their own products, whether it's t-shirts, we talked about this, hats, mugs, at the end of the day, it takes just a little creativity, opening up an account, and that's it. The creators don't have to deal with anything on the logistical side. They can just open up their shop and they can sell. And that's great when you're dealing with printing on demand, and that's very easy. But when you're dealing with cosmetics today, creators, when they want to create their own brand, they not only have to understand the aspects behind creating their own brand, they have to become supply chain experts. They have to have e-commerce solutions. They have to have fulfillment solutions, and they have to have credit card processing. So Eitan, I'll use you as an example. You're a very handsome guy, and if you wanted to create a beard grooming line for men, you would be able to do that obviously with Creator. But before Creator, you would have to find your own formulator. You would have to find your own manufacturer. You would then have to source your own componentry. Then you would have to find a factory that would need to be able to manufacture in the amounts that you wanted to start with. And last but not least, you obviously would need a website and you'd need a fulfillment center. And for a lot of creators, or for most creators, really, for the long tail, as we call it in this space, it's a really, really daunting task. And a lot of times it makes opportunity prohibitive. That's why by lowering the bar with the solutions out there like Printify and whatnot, it's as easy as 5 clicks and you're selling. And no one was doing that in the beauty space, and that's what we did.
Yeah, it's a obviously tight integration you have with one of those top 20 factories, and definitely the technology platform we've developed just to streamline those activities. And definitely, I mean, those entrepreneurs, they can find a factory that can probably deliver small quantities, but then when you scale, you are limited, right? Then you have to move another factor. It's like a whole new ball game, right?
Correct. Look, there are definitely a bunch of different solutions that are out there in the space that are probably more similar to Printify, where you have middlemen that have acquired existing inventory that you can't customize beyond the sticker or the label. The bottle is the bottle, the formula is the formula, and maybe you can print your name on a label and have it mailed out via drop shipping. But at the end of the day, that's you're sort of beholden upon a factory that's beholden upon a middleman. With us, you're working directly with the source. You have the ability to customize your formulations with us. Of course, you can keep it simple, and you don't have to do anything, and you can just choose your fragrance and you can choose your label, and you're off to the races. Or you can actually get down to the nitty-gritty of everything. And if you have some semblance of knowledge and beauty in the beauty space, you actually have the ability to choose concerns, to choose active ingredients. But the beauty of the ecosystem that we have is that, like you said, to your point, you can start out small. And if it explodes and if it grows, you're still within the same ecosystem as it ramps up and goes to scale. And that's a very, very, very strong advantage. I mean, we believe at Creator that real opportunity comes with risk mitigation. And the big risk mitigation is supply chain knowledge, and also investing a ton of money in inventory. And we shorten the whole process by letting you start out small and grow as you go. We want you to become a big brand, but we don't want you to be behind the eight ball. We want you to actually launch the right amount for you to grow as you go. And scale and deploy more capital the more capital that you can deploy to brand building and marketing, the better for us. We're here with you for the long haul.
Yes. So just launching that new venture is as easy as launching a website on Wix, which is amazing. Then when you scale, you can scale, right, with Creator to really large volumes, large quantities, which is another big breakthrough, I think, in the industry. It's really amazing that you guys pull this out. So you also say a lot that inventory is the silent killer of great brands, right? So what do you mean by?
Well, look, at the end of the day, inventory is always an asset on the book for the first year. It's always an asset on the book. But ultimately, if you end up not being able to sell that inventory, it becomes a liability. And you see a lot of the brands that are being launched today, whether they're direct-to-consumer or even smaller beauty venture-backed brands, a significant amount of capital. Like if a brand gets $2 to $5 million invested, you could see a 1 to 2 year process of product development with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars put into initial inventory, componentry, packing. And all of a sudden, 25, 30, 40% of the funds that you've raised, or 25 to 40% of the deployable funds that you have, are deployed into things around inventory as opposed to around brand building and marketing. And that's a big challenge. And by the way, not just for creators, for even existing DTC brands. I mean, we have a lot of the direct-to-consumer brands that are marketing machines that know exactly how to take messaging and know exactly how to convert the audiences that they already have. We offer a tremendous amount of benefit as well. I mean, I can give you a real-world example that just happened over the course of the last 5 months, where you have direct-to-consumer companies that are just have this, finesse and expertise in selling product, but they also need risk mitigation. And so we have a client, I can't disclose the name, obviously, but we have a customer of ours that started this is all within a 4-month period. They came out with a product together with us. Obviously, we were very, very instrumental in helping them come up with a product to fit their customer base. But their initial run was 500 pieces. That they were doing fine-tuning of identifying if there was a market need. The second run was 2,000 pieces. The third run was 10,000 pieces. And the fourth run, which we just closed a couple weeks ago, was 65,000 pieces. And the run rate is growing up and growing up. And it's really, really interesting how we can sort of also adapt ourselves to the direct-to-consumer monsters, let's just say, the people that are actually the machines in direct-to-consumer, because with Creator, we also can mitigate risk for them. Meaning, you know what, you're pretty confident that you can sell 100,000 pieces of each SKU a year, let's just say. Well, there's a big difference between ordering 100,000 pieces of 5 SKUs each filled and sitting in your warehouse, as opposed to ordering 100,000 pieces of componentry for 5 SKUs and filling 5,000 at a time. It frees up a tremendous amount of capital in order to let the brand grow. And even for the established DTC players that we work with, it gives them a level of freedom that they didn't have prior, specifically in the beauty space. So we are seeing a lot of traction.
Amazing. And a lot of them don't have that experience, right? Trying to forecast, trying to mitigate, market demand, and trying to.
Yeah, I mean, look, some of them are definitely experts. I mean, at the end of the day, no matter what, most of these companies will have the ability to sell the inventory. But at the end of the day, it's a question of being focused with deployable capital, okay? It's one thing if you make a mistake and you order 20,000, your forecast is off and you order 20,000 pieces more than you should have. It's a lot less painful if those 20,000 pieces are not filled and they're 50 cents a piece as opposed to $5 a piece. With filled product, or $10 a piece with filled product. So it's a great balance. But so we're seeing that we're solving a real immediate need in order to give people the ability to have access to the opportunity. But we're actually solving a big problem for a lot of the established direct-to-consumer companies and even the established beauty brands that can expand SKUs with us very quickly. I mean, you're looking at cycles of production of 21 business days from formulation. These sort of timelines are really unheard of in the industry. And because it's the first time that manufacturing is being connected with demand, in the typical ecosystem, you had the manufacturer, then you had the brand owner, then you had the distributor, then you had the wholesaler, then you had the retailer, and then you had the consumer. And there was no visibility between manufacturing and consumption. And so years ago, 5 years ago, if you were an Amazon brand owner, I would have no idea that you were running out of stock. And you would call me up and say, David, I need more tubes of the lotion, or I need more face cream. And my answer to you would be no problem. It's going to take a couple of months because we're missing 2 or 3 of these raw ingredients. And in that period of time, if you run out of stock, then your listing is dead. And all the work that you've put in is gone. But when we have visibility on the movement of inventory, because we're actually selling and seeing the connection to the point of sale and seeing the level of inventory, then we know that when you give us a call and say, David, we need more product, our answer is going to be, we know. How much do you need and when? And so it's really, really by digitizing and going from low tech to manufacturing 4.0. It's really, really revolutionary in this space, and we're staying focused on beauty, but conceivably this methodology is applicable across other verticals. But for right now, we're proving the model in beauty.
Beauty, yeah. So actually Uberizing beauty manufacturing, right? And because you're providing also the D2C storefront, and that storefront is obviously connected to other channels, right? Like Amazon or even TikTok Shop or whatever, you have through an API the ability to understand demand and to do these small forecasting, right? And to be in a proactive app platform that probably notify and leverage the data, right? To create better communication updates with your customers and do much more sophisticated planning that they're ever used to do, can possibly do with any other solution. So that's it's really, really smart. And so how is it going on with those creators? I mean, what's the feedback you're getting? What's some of the objections, some of the great insight that you've learned through and I know you're beyond product market fit, already selling, have great case studies. Love to learn more about the feedback that you hear from customers.
Yeah, look, I mean, at the end, we're learning a lot as we go. I can tell you that one of the things that we learned is that many creators are risk averse with regards also to capital. And so we've introduced tools on the platform like KYB financing, so that instead of, in the traditional world of beauty and the traditional worlds of purchase orders, brand owners or new operators typically finance purchase orders. And the purchase orders, whether they're at a retail outlet, Walmart, or wherever they might be, are the factoring is done on the value of the PO. We've actually introduced KYB financing so that if you're a business operating for at least a year, so most creators themselves are already established business entities, the ones certainly that want to go out and do this, we have the ability of mitigating also the capital outlay by giving you a solution that can allow you to finance the even the short run manufacturing as opposed to the financing of the retail price. The other thing that we've learned from creators is that because of everything that we solve for them, they're more inclined to dive off into the deep end and really, really try it sort of gives them this layer of confidence. What we've actually also been really, really phenomenally lucky to receive is that there are a lot of opportunities that start out in apparel, but we define them as beauty adjacent. Meaning that, there are a lot of TikTokers that are out there that have developed their own brand presence by leveraging the speed of building things with apparel. And, some that we're in the process of building brands with them right now today in beauty, but where, these TikTokers, it's a funny story, but where they develop their own line of clothing. But when they sell their line of clothing, they're selling them a lot on TikTok and, TikTok Shop and the discoveries on TikTok Shop. And a lot of these TikTokers always get questions as to what products they're using on their face because they're great, they look so great, they look so young, they look so perfect. And we're seeing a lot of TikTokers that are in completely different segments that are reaching out to us because they're saying it's ridiculous. I'm selling my shirts, I'm selling my bags, I'm selling my pants, I'm selling my shoes, I'm selling my jewelry. And that's great and it's going really well, but I keep showing product by Clinique, or I keep showing product by Maybelline, or I keep showing, because I keep getting asked all these questions, and I put affiliate links in my TikTok because that's what I do. But I have the business stamina to be able to do this on my own. I'm beauty adjacent. Let me open up another vertical with my audience. And so we're working with more established TikTok shop operators and brand owners to help them sort of expand. And it's a really, really seamless and easy process to do with us.
That's really, really smart. I mean, just moving to this just-in-time kind of production in beauty is really an amazing breakthrough. And obviously it changes the whole psychology for creators and entrepreneurs out there just thinking about launching a beauty brand. So this is very, very powerful. And I know you are implementing a lot of AI into the platform, definitely on the inventory projections and some other aspects of the business. What do you see? How do you see AI is implemented into your platform in this various, let's say, product services that you provide to your customer?
So I would say there's sort of two ways that AI can come in. AI can come in at the level of really just assisting people and helping them get to where they need to be. So it could be, as an example, Eitan, you come to the platform and you're convinced that you want to do a product that's for you. But AI can let you know, actually, you're better off doing a product that's for your audience. And if your audience are women, then a beard grooming solution wouldn't be the right product choice. And so part of the ways of using AI is to allow you to understand what products your audience or your followers or your fans are need and what would resonate with them. Another way to leverage AI on the simpler side is to provide you with a sort of concierge or lab assistant that helps you formulate based on input or based on products that you use that you want to upload, and let them know the type of product that you want to create. And that's sort of on the product formulation side. Remember, we have tens of thousands of formulation in a database with over 35 plus years of history. So the ability to feed that machine is very, very, very robust. But AI really gets interesting on the predictive inventory side in a lot of ways, in the sense that the closer that we can get to, and I'm going to talk finance here, but in the finance world, in the stock market, you have the bid and you have the ask. And so you always know that fine point in between that can sort of measure demand. And that's where we're going to try to use AI on a predictive level to sort of help us as a manufacturer be able to understand the fine point between the bid and the ask with regards to consumption, and give you as the brand owner the ability to never be overstocked and never be understocked, which is really, really an incredible opportunity in the industry, and can streamline, can impact on waste management and all that stuff. But more importantly, we have other levels of directions. I mean, it could be, and I've talked about this in the past, but sometimes marketing campaigns work too well, and sometimes you're actually your campaigns are viral. And they're working so well that you're beginning to sell inventory that you don't have. And on the one hand, if you're selling inventory that you don't have, that means that you're paying for advertising and click-through rates that you can't fulfill product on the other end, and it could become very, very costly. And so ultimately, AI is also going to serve as sort of a barrier to let our customers and our partners know, hey, if you're heavily marketing this product, just tone it down a bit, maybe focus on some other SKUs, so that you don't run out of inventory, because there could be supply chain issues that you as a brand owner are not aware of, that we as a manufacturer are aware of. And so there are a lot of ways that AI can come in there, but the AI is just a feature unless you have the manufacturing backend. Then it really, really becomes an asset in the tool. And that's what's really going to set us apart.
Right, you mentioned brands are failing to support demand, right? I mean, obviously we know a lot of brands that didn't achieve third market fit, or couldn't scale due to lack of demand, but also a lot of brands went out of business because they couldn't support the demand, right? So this is something that you can definitely mitigate in your platform. And so David, how do you see the next generation of beauty brands and how they can differ from what's already available out there, from the big players?
First of all, the most important thing is that we can give brands the ability to stay on trend. That's what's really been missing from a product offering perspective, and even from a reactionary perspective. You take some of the giants that are out there, your Estee Lauders, your Revlons, and the larger players in the world. They create offerings, and they create what they assume are going to be trend, but to rapidly adapt and adopt different directions as quickly as our platform can enable, really just doesn't exist in the lexicon of those types of players. And so the ability to stay on trend, the ability to innovate, the ability to differentiate, the ability to be able to adapt your marketing funnels by being able to do limited releases, limited drops, collabs, all within the same accordion, whether you're established or not established. I think, that feature set and that dynamic ability. I mean, just as easy it is to change your website for Thanksgiving or to change your website for the Christmas holiday or to change your website for the New Year's holiday or Valentine's Day, it should be just as easy to adapt and change your offering. And currently it isn't. And with Creator, it can be.
Yeah, interesting. So, David, how would you describe your ideal customer profile?
Our ideal customer, we have to divide it into sort of 3 tiers. I would say at the creator level, people that believe in themselves and that believe that they are brand worthy and believe in their ability, but don't necessarily have the means or the know-how, and that's all that's missing. And so that's the long tail that we can enable. I also believe that the struggling brands or the creative minds that have limited capital, that want to create and know that they can create something meaningful and have knowledge and expertise, leverage our grow as you go application. And bear in mind, right now we're in skincare, hair care, face care, body care, and med spa lines. But we're going to be introducing color makeup, which is a strong and growing space, and eventually also OTC with SPFs and sunblocks, which is a very, very strong formula offering. And then also we really, because we provide the accordion, we also can react as an accordion, meaning that we can take brands that are here, we can take opportunities that are here, and then we can help nurture ideas and dreams that are here from people that are just getting started, which is why we have different levels of service that we offer. And that way, that when you're getting on board with a partner that's providing you a 360 solution.
Yes, interesting. So not just the ability to scale in terms of quantities, but also enhance product offering and more product lines within your catalog, which is very important. Also, even support existing brands who are already operating in a certain way, and they need more specialized help, and just focus on growing their business and let someone else manage all the back end of their supply chain and inventory and fulfillment side of things. So that's very, very smart. Okay, David, so how entrepreneurs, creators, influencers, brands, how they can reach out to you guys?
Well, it's really easy. You just got to go to www.CRE8OR.us, creator.us. Definitely, you can go there. You can register. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to contact us. As a founder of the business and someone who really, really believes strongly in the business, I also have no problem for anyone to reach out to me directly, and we'll make sure the right people get your attention. You can reach me at my corporate email address, David David at Creator CRE8 8OR Global GLOBAL.com. And any one of your listeners that wants to reach out, just have them let me know that they heard your podcast, and we'll make sure that they get the VIP treatment.
Oh, amazing. Sounds perfect. David, anything else you want to add?
No, I think it goes back to your first question. Family, integrity, and purpose. I think people that have meaningful things in their lives that fall along those lines, whether it's family, friends, integrity, or purpose, everyone that has that in their lives, everyone is brand worthy and everyone deserves that type of an opportunity. And so I would encourage everyone to rely on their family and friends to get the support that they need mentally and emotionally to take a step in the journey. I think that people with integrity have great impact on their audience. And if you build a brand that resonates with you and resonates with your ethos, that means that you have purpose. And when you have all those 3 things together with Creator, you'd be unstoppable.
Amazing, David. So thank you for reminding us of all these great values. It's definitely super important. I wish you an amazing year. I know you're going to do a lot of breakthroughs this year. So
yeah, we have a lot of surprises that are coming out in the next couple of months from great partners and great technology partners. And so we're super, super excited. But we had a great 2025. You guys are going to have a great 2026.
Thank you so much, David.
All right. Thanks, Eitan, very much.